Hello, guys, and welcome back. You are watching the Camera 64 podcast, and I am your host, Alfonso Chavez. And as always, we're coming to you from sunny San Antonio here in the garage. So, here I am back in the garage. I am so excited to be back in front of the camera with you guys. So, we had the start of school 2 weeks ago. And as you know, I'm a bus driver, so I am back on the bus driving students to and from school. And yeah, I actually enjoy doing my job. I enjoy talking to students. I enjoy meeting new students. And I also enjoy hearing the stories that I sometimes hear on the bus, sometimes engaging with them, or sometimes just overhearing conversations that they have as teenagers, which is always nice for me because it kind of takes me back to the days when I used to ride the bus in high school. And it's just a great memory for me. And that takes us into our, it's just a great memory for me. So today on the podcast, guys, I wanted to talk about one of the biggest things I think that's going on right now in photography. And I think that a lot of people are afraid to talk about it or don't want to talk about it or just don't want to acknowledge the fact or the idea that things are not going great in photography, not even for myself. I am also included in that list. So at the end of last year, we actually had a very, very poor end of the year last year. And I thought maybe things just, maybe it was just a bad year. That was my initial thought. Because every year we always kind of have that slow time around June, July, and August. And we usually book a lot during that time too. So we book June, we take calls in June and July for events that are going on in September, October, and November, even all the way out to January. For the start of the following year. And so I didn't think much about it. I just thought, well, maybe it was just a bad year. And I just took it at that and left it at that. But we closed out last year on a really bad note. And it spilled over into this year. And we had a very poor start of the year as well. We only photographed a few seniors this year, which is way down from what we normally do. And also, we don't have very many events on the calendar for the close of this year. I think right now we're sitting on maybe 5 events from today, which is October 20th to the end of the year. I think I've only got 5 events scheduled, that's a really low number. That's probably a quarter of what we would normally do at the end of the year. So why am I talking about it? Just because I understand business. I understand that there's going to be ups and downs. But I think that right now, photography is not the only business that's being affected by this. In general, I think that the entire United States is going through something. Now, I'm no mathematician or anything like that. I'm no business major. I just know that I can look at my numbers from previous years, and I can see that we in general have ups and downs, but for whatever reason last year was not great for me, and it looks like this year is not going to be great at all. So it kind of puts me in a situation or puts me where I have to really stop and think about what I'm doing, look forward. I have to make some decisions about what I'm going to do. Am I going to continue to step forward in this photography? And there's a lot of factors that are involved, obviously. But for me personally, it's obviously the money, right? Nobody ever wants to talk about the money. But the fact is that there's a lot of overhead for me as a business. I have my insurance. I have my Adobe subscriptions. I run my website. I use HoneyBook. Yeah. So there's a lot of overhead costs that I pay every single month. And the fact is that right now I'm having to pay that out of pocket, and it's just not a good it's just not a good situation to be in. And it's not like I'm a new photographer and don't know how to charge and don't know how to run a business and don't know how to satisfy customers. We have tons of satisfied customers over the years, almost 20 years of satisfied customers. So that is not my personal situation. It doesn't all fall on me, but the economy for a fact right now is just not doing well. People are still having parties. They're still getting married. Obviously, they're still doing quinceañeras, but photography now is a lower, an even lower tier than what it's been in the past. And I understand it, guys. I truly understand it. You know, photography is an emotional purchase. Wanting to look back on great pictures is more of a luxury, to be quite honest. People have cell phones now and they can do a pretty good job in most situations. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest with ourselves. We need to stop lying as a photo community. It's to the point now where I have very limited options. Like, what can I do to make money in photography? I can continue to push and try and get more events. But the thing is that it's not the fact that people are not calling, because people have continued to call me. We get anywhere between, I would say, about 10 to 15 calls a month. So it's not a huge amount of people calling, but it's pretty average. And if we can just close out on 3 or 4 of them, that's all I really would look forward to anyways. 3 to 4 people out of those 15 to 20 calls that I received. If I can close on 3 or 4, that's pretty good. I consider that to be pretty good. But when I watch other YouTubers and I watch or I hear other people talking and they say, "Oh, I close on everybody." How are you doing that? I just, come on. Let's be honest with each other. Let's be true to the fact that if you're closing on everybody, that would make you the best salesperson, photographer, businessman. I mean, that's the way I see it. And I just, there's no way. There's just absolutely no way that you're that perfect, But right now we're getting maybe the same amount of calls, but the people don't want to pay our price, And I'm not inexpensive. I think that for our area, we might be considered expensive, but not even that, because let's be honest, all the work that we do, the amount of time, the amount of overhead, the amount of knowledge that you have to have, and ultimately we're a service, right? Our business is to provide a service, basically record media, photography, and video, package it and deliver it back to them in a nice way. That all takes money. I mean, if you're a photographer watching this, you know exactly what I mean. If you're a videographer, to me, videography is even twice the amount of work as a photographer would do for that amount of money. But I have people calling me now that want to hire me for an entire wedding, which is an 8-hour day, or what I would consider an 8-hour day. And they're letting me know their budget is $500. That's a tough pill to swallow. If you're a photographer making $500, that means if you shoot 4 8-hour events, to make $2,000, that doesn't even pay for one camera, much less a lens or a flash or the knowledge that you've acquired over the years. Because if you're a photographer, you know that it took you years to master your craft, without a doubt. And so for me personally, I think that $500 is not doable. I mean, for me personally, it's not doable. And then I get the people that will call and want photo and video 8 hours for $1,000. And again, guys, oh my gosh, that is, I'm basically doing welfare for these people at this point, right? It's a welfare thing. I can't afford to buy new cameras with that. I can't afford to keep up my cameras. I can't afford to even run the business with that amount of money. Even if I did 4 events, that's only $4,000. When it costs thousands of dollars just to keep the doors open, keep things moving, to be able to advertise, to be able to have a website, to be able to maintain my cameras and also update my cameras when the time comes. How can you do it? It's just not sustainable. I just don't see how it's even possible. And so for that reason, I think I'm generally going to have to take a step back right now, even though I really don't want to do that. I want to continue doing what I'm doing, but basically I got to step back. I got to come to the realization I had to stop lying to myself. And I wish that more people out there, more photographers out there like me who have been doing this for a long time would start to let people know, not because I want you to quit photography. No, that's not what I'm trying to get to. I just want you to know the truth. I just want you to know if you're a new photographer starting out right now, you're having to compete against people like me that have been doing it for a very long time. And I just want you to know that the money or the profit wise, it's getting harder and harder. It's not impossible. It's just getting extremely harder to compete. Basically, you have to be in the top 1 or 2%. Okay, that's what it's boiling down to. And everybody else, the 98%, which is I'm included in there too. I don't consider myself to be that top 1 or 2% that's making, let's just say $200,000 a year. That's not me. I don't fall in that category. I'm just a regular mojo, just like everybody else. I just been doing it a little bit longer than most people, and I've gotten used to paying my taxes. I've gotten used to paying for my cost of doing business, so on and so forth. Having my cameras cleaned and maintenance every year and those kinds of things. But I'm competing against people that don't do any of that. They don't have insurance. They don't run a website. They don't even provide contracts. A lot of times photographers will sign people up, take the money, and they never see or hear from that person again. It's horrible. I hate to hear that. And I've done several events like that for completely free, just because I feel bad, right? I feel bad about the fact that, and I shouldn't. That's the sad part, right? I shouldn't feel bad about people like that. I shouldn't feel bad that they wanted to hire somebody for $300 and they backed out on them. That's the difference between them and us, Camera 64, right? I've never bailed out on a job. I've been late to a job, but I've never bailed out on a job. If somebody hires me, I have been there for absolutely all of them. Every event that I've ever written a contract for, I've been there. And that's part of the thing that we provide. And that level of service, it's hard to compete with, right? But all they care about is the bottom line. That's it, period. $300 for my 8-hour wedding. I'm going to hire that guy. I might sound like I'm bitter, but I honest to God am not bitter about that. You get what you pay for, period. And if they decide I need to stop having a heart, basically. So I've always had a hard time with that. I've always had an issue with that because right out of high school, one of my jobs that I had right off immediately was I was a car salesman for new cars for Ford. So I sold Ford F-150s, I sold Escorts, and the rest of the line of Ford. But the idea is that I could only do it for like maybe 4 or 5 months, because what was killing me inside is the fact that in order to be a good salesperson, I had to be able to look people in the eye and just straight lie to them. Just tell them, oh yes, this is the best deal. This is the best interest rate that I can get for you. These are the accessories that you're going to need apart from the sale, right? We need to sell you this extended warranty. Knowing full well up here that none of that was necessary. It was all ways to make money. We had to be able to look people in the eye and convince them of something that actually had no value, or at least I didn't see that it was a value at all. I genuinely wanted to give them the best price at that's available for that particular car and the features that they're looking for, right? But I had to lie to them. If I wanted to make some money, I had to lie to them. And that simple fact is what kept me from being a good salesperson, because I couldn't do it. Just like now, I can't lie to you and tell you, hey, photography, the way to go, man. You're gonna open your photography business and everything's gonna be perfect, knowing, full and well that things are not right now. Almost, I'm a Canon shooter, so if you're buying a new R5 Mark II or you're buying an R1 and you're buying a flash and a nice lens for it to do weddings, you're gonna spend upwards of $10,000 to $15,000. And if somebody wants to pay you $500 to do the wedding, it doesn't make no mathematical sense at all. None, period. It just doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. It's a horrible decision right now. So when you hear me come on here and I talk about old gear and using old gear, that's absolutely the way to go right now. I would take a 5D Mark II any day off of eBay for $300. Give me a 580EX. Give me two of them. You can get them for like $50 and go shoot weddings. In that case, if you don't value yourself too much or you're just starting out, then take that $500. Because in that point, then it's fun, right? You don't have to pay no taxes on it. It's all, as we say, under the water, right? But as a business person, I don't see it. I've lost it. I can't see how I can be profitable. So at this point, I really have my back up against the wall, and I genuinely have to think about what am I going to do moving forward here. Now, I'm originally a video guy. That's how I got started. I shot video starting in high school, believe it or not, because of the great local channels that wanted to start a program for the high schools, and I just happened to be at the right school at the right time where these programs were being offered. So I actually learned how to non-linear edit, which was amazing. Amazingly hard, amazingly long tooth, right? It was a very tough way to edit compared to the way that we edit now. And so now I'm thinking about, well, maybe I should start doing more of what I really like, which is video. Maybe I should start making documentaries. Maybe I should do weddings, but in a different way, in a documentary style way. And maybe not even charge, or even better yet, bring a story like I've talked about in past videos. Have a story, right? Just tell them, hey, look, I want to be a documentary filmmaker. Come with the story, right? And then having the story, maybe just let them know, hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a documentary of your wedding, and whatever you want to give me would be great, because I'm trying to get a new camera. That's my story, right? Maybe that should be my story. Maybe I should just start doing these little wedding videos and see how it works out. Just something totally different, right? Don't promise anything. Shoot it in a different way, different from everything that you've probably seen. Just try and come up with a new style, a new way of shooting it from a different way, shooting it from up high or down low, shooting it maybe as an uncle or as an aunt, like a home video style. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just throwing ideas, I guess. I'm throwing out my ideas at you right now. If any of these ideas sound cool, let me know, guys. Down below in the comments. Say, hey, that's a great idea. Go ahead and do that. Maybe I would like to follow friends along too, because I have a lot of friends that do interesting jobs. Maybe I can take time and spend a day with them and make documentaries that way. Share their story, right? Because their story, in the end, is my story, and I just want to tell more stories moving forward. Maybe I've got to become a hobbyist. I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go. Just become a hobbyist and hope and pray that somebody likes my video and maybe clicks on one of my links. I don't know. I've never done it before. I've never made money that way. But one thing I will say is I'm not going to sit on here and try and promote products in a way that I'm lying to you. Okay, I'm not going to tell you, oh, like the lens I'm using right now, this Sigma 135, if you get this is going to make your photography really good. You're going to make a whole lot of money. I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not going to sit here and do that, because all my videos are, everything that I talk about on my videos, none of it's written out. I don't have a script. I just sit in front of the camera and I just tell you how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking at the moment, right? So this is what I'm thinking at the moment. I'm just kind of in this depression, I guess you can say, right? Because I want to continue doing what I'm doing, but I know that I can't make money doing it anymore, or it's very hard to do so, right? Because I'm not in that 1%. I'm in the 98% with you guys. I'm just like you. No matter what level you're at, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it as long as I have, but I'm in the same boat as you, right? So tell me what you guys think. I mean, other photographers out there, if anybody's watching this who's been a photographer for 5 years or 10 years, how's it going for you guys? Are y'all having success in 2024 here in August? Or have things slowed down for you just like they have for me, and you just can't figure out what to do next? I mean, do you advertise? Even advertising on Facebook before, when I would post on Facebook, I used to get tons of like immediate reaction, right? Tons of comments. I would get tons of thumbs up, likes. It's non-existent now. No matter what I post, I could post baby pictures. I could post wedding, quinceañeras. And I'm lucky if 100 people see my stuff now. So it's not even worth it for me to even be on Facebook, in my opinion. I generally want to kind of get away from that and go back to doing it old school, right? And what's old school is I used to go out with my camera and just shoot. If I wanted to shoot video, I'd shoot video. If I wanted to shoot pictures, I'd shoot pictures. And I would talk to people in person, share my card and say, hey, go to my website and take a look at your pictures that I shot. Take a look at your video that I shot. I don't know. Do I got to go back and do that again? Maybe that's the way to do it. But for sure, what I'm going to be doing with my photo, just so you guys are aware, or so you can understand what it is I'm trying to say here, is that definitely I am going to set a price. I don't know what the new price is going to be, but I'm going to set a photography price and I'm going to leave it there. So they either take the price that I'm giving them, or I simply am just not going to do it. So that way I can really focus on doing more videos just like this, and doing more documentary videos as well. That's what I'm going to do. And if it means me making a third of what I used to make, so be it. I guess I'm just going to have to live with that fact right now. I'm getting older. I don't have a whole lot of time left. These videos are important to me. Even if nobody else is watching it, these are important for my sons, my daughter-in-law. They're important for my grandbabies now that we have Ezra in our lives. Hopefully there's more. But I want them to be able to come back to these videos, and I want them to feel and understand what it is that I went through and how I continued to fight, even though things were not great right now. But it's not great just for me. It's not great for anybody right now. The U.S. as a whole is not doing well. So I think some of it is not. It's not all me. It's a whole bunch of factors. I just happen to be in a market where I'm a luxury. Photography is a luxury for most people. That's the way they see it. And I get it. I understand it. There's luxuries in my life too that I've had to cut back on. So I get it. But that's my story, guys. And again, like I said, if you want to leave us a comment below, please do so. If you want to give us a thumbs up, we would greatly appreciate it. If you want to give us a thumbs down, if you do that, please just let me know what didn't you like. He didn't like the background. He didn't like my shirt. Maybe it's these nerdy glasses. I don't know. But whatever it is, just let me know so that way I can have an idea. If there's something I can improve on, I'd be more than happy to improve on it. But till next time, guys, you have been watching the Camera 64 podcast. I want you to be successful no matter what. If you can be better than me, go for it. Be better than me. I wish you well, guys. I wish you well. So till next time, take care. Do your best. Have fun. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.